Hi, welcome to PropertySMART HDB series with Kelvin Chai. Today, I would like to share with you more about CPF. Whether an owner can utilize their CPF throughout 100% for their mortgage loan purposes. Let's do a study into CPF usage. Where can they be applied for HDB purposes? Hypothetically, owner will utilize the CPF for the mortgage payment, for the down payment, maybe also for stamp duty purposes, legal costs, and some owners who have stayed there for a period of times and maybe the unit have experienced some upgrading by HDB, they can also utilize the CPF for upgrading purposes. And also not forgetting about the mortgage home protection insurance, this can also be utilized using the CPF payment. Next, we will understand a bit more about the basic qualifications of utilizing this CPF. First, the property that need to utilize it need to be in a lease of at least 20 years and above. Next, the property lease must be able to cover the balance plus the age of the youngest buyer up to this limit 95. If not, there will be a prorated usage of this CPF. Next will be the usage of CPF is actually based on the valuation or purchase price, whichever that is lower. Last but not least, one got to take note that to utilize the CPF, he or she must be the owner status. The occupier status will not be allowed to utilize any CPF at all. CPF usage limit. To understand further, one got to know these two terms. First is the valuation limit. The second is the withdrawal limit. So valuation limit is actually based on the lower or purchase price or the valuation price. And whereas for the withdrawal limit, it's actually 20% more of the valuation price. So let's take for example an assumption. A purchase price of 520,000. The valuation price is at 500,000. In this example, the valuation limit will be 500,000. Hypothetically, a buyer will take a loan tenure of 25 years. But at a certain period of time, usually it's about 15 years plus minus, subject to the loan amount and the CPF usage, this member will receive a CPF letter to inform them that, hey, your valuation limit is coming to an end. Please prepare to pay your next payment in cash. But you may wonder why that you still have a lot of CPF in your ordinary account, but how come I received this piece of letter? And that's because you have reached the valuation limit. And you may further ask, why, where have I used the valuation limit amount to? One must also recall that during the initial purchase, you may have used some of the CPF onto the stamp duty, onto the insurance, and also onto the legal costs. So every month when we pay certain amount of CPF out, it's actually to cover two areas, the mortgage payment and also the mortgage interest. So because of this, over a certain period of time, the outstanding amount is still there and your valuation limit has already reached the limitation already. So what can you do about it if you still have a lot of CPF in your ordinary account and you want to continue to utilize it? Now, it depends on whether how old are you. There's a cutoff age of 55. If you are 55 and below, you have to set aside the prevailing basic retirement sum, which is the add up of your ordinary account and special account, that you must meet this BRS amount. If you are 55 and above, you have to ensure that your ordinary account plus a special account plus this retirement account must meet the basic retirement sum. Now, any amount above this basic retirement sum will be able to continue to utilize the next limit called withdrawal limit, which is an additional of 20%. So there again, once you have reached this withdrawal limit of 120%, the next amount that you have to pay will be utilizing cash only. So do remember about these two limits, withdrawal limit and also the valuation limit. Does it affect all properties purchased under HDB? The answer is no. So let's take a closer look on what are the properties that you purchase will be affecting using valuation limit or withdrawal limit. First, you have the new flat that is purchased direct with HDB. If a member is using a HDB loan, you can actually go all the way using your CPF without having to worry about the limit of withdrawal or value. You can utilize all the way, no issue. Next, we have the resale flat. If you have purchased a HDB resale flat using a HDB loan, now the first limit of value will come to in place. And if you are able to maintain your basic retirement sum, any above CPF, you can continue to utilize it all the way. So the first hurdle is only the value limit. But there again, you have to take note, if let's say your property balance lease plus the age of the youngest buyer is not able to meet the 95 marks, then there will be a prorated amount that CPF can be utilized. Finally, if one were to purchase any new flat or a HDB resale flat or even a private property using a bank loan, then this member got to take note of. The limit will be up to withdrawal limit. Anything above it, you are not able to utilize any more CPF. So do take note about this when next time when you plan for your loan applications, whether to go for HDB or whether to go for the bank loan. Join me next round for a very interesting topic which I'm very sure MOP owners like yourself would like to follow. Should you sell upon MOP or should you wait for 2-3 years later? Thank you so much for joining me in this series of PropertySMART HDB series with Kelvin Chai. I see you again. Bye.